Hi.
Fuck you.
What's the last thing you remembered?
All of a sudden, there was a light, and then I was falling.
Who are you?
I was supposed to be executed 2 days ago.
And I was in combat. So was I.
Black Ops.
Yakuza.
We need to work as a team.
Does this look like a team-orientated group of individuals to you?
Well, I guess I think things have improved since the last episode.
I don't even know what to say to you anymore. I'm just in shock still.
That sounds very rude. You are a rude person. You are not okay with other people's opinions.
Generally I am, but I'm still convinced you're joking.
I think deep down you're just deeply insecure about your own opinions, so you need to lash out whenever anyone expresses any disagreement with you.
Have you read your Twitter feed?
Yeah, I think I'm a pretty reasonable guy. Hold on, I just need to send a death threat to Ethan. He said Godfather Part 2 is better than 1, and I don't agree.
Well, speaking of disagreements, we're here to talk about Predators. For the Predator retrospective, we're winding down. This is the last one. The previous episode didn't go as planned, to say the least.
Well, no, it went as planned. It went by my
Fucking
plan.
God. This is why I'm still convinced that you don't actually like it. Like, I don't think I'll ever be convinced.
I'm sorry, but I'm serious. That was 100% legitimate in that episode. I mean, I think my Iraq War stuff was a bit of a stretch, but like I said, I can make anything about the War on Terror. So, except this film, oddly enough. But although I will make some political comments during it, don't worry.
Okay, good. Because just for me personally, this is the first one of the franchise that doesn't feel like politically motivated in any way to me. But that might just be me. I might have missed something. I'm open to being proven wrong. We're here to talk about Predators.
The motivation of this film is to be as badass as possible, which is not always the greatest goal to have. But hey.
No. So I rewatched this recently because the last time we talked about it, when we started this retrospective again, I had mentioned not being crazy about it. And I'm still not crazy about it, but damn if I didn't have a good time rewatching this movie.
Yeah, I like this movie.
All right. That's it?
That's the episode. I'm at EmperorOTN at twitter.com.
This was originally a Robert Rodriguez script from way back in 1996. Now, Matt, you're unfamiliar with this version of the movie, right?
I'm completely unfamiliar. Now, is it the same plot? I just want to know if is the Predator planet, like the hunting planet, part of the original script, or was that something that happened later?
Yes, but it's weird. It's a very busy story, and I can see why it was totally like neglected for the way more streamlined version that we'd end up getting. It has more in common with like Avatar than Predator.
Could you think of an example that doesn't bore everyone to tears?
Honestly, no. It's a very distinct script. I don't know if it would have made
Avatar. Wait a minute.
No. I'm just talking about like weird alien like world building stuff. I'm not talking about like the quality of the script. That's debatable. Whatever.
No. I'm not talking about the quality either. But I don't think Avatar's a busy script.
No, you're right. That was a weird. I'm talking about the visual like splendor and like all like these weird creatures and stuff that Rodriguez was really interested in like putting on the screen. I don't know how they would have done it in 1996, let alone like 2010 if your name's not James Cameron. But it would have been weird. I'm just gonna get into a little bit of the opening really quick, and then I'll kind of ease back. We'll talk about the actual movie. Yeah, because it opens really bizarre. So there's always been kind of this idea a lot of the fan base plays around with, like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if the Predator went up against like warriors from this period of time in this region of the world? And so the opening of this script kind of opens with hints at that. It opens with a Spanish galleon being besieged by a force of enemies called the Invisibles. That's what they're referred to as in the script. And then pirates and this older-looking dude start fighting back with muskets and futuristic weaponry. So it's like, oh, so it's not in the past, or maybe it is. And then when one of the Invisibles gets their necks broken, it turns out the guy that broke the neck is an older Dutch. And this story is actually taking place in the future. And I don't know why he's on an old Spanish galleon. And it's never explained why he's on the old Spanish galleon.
Wow. That's a hell of an opening.
Yeah.
That's great, though. I like this. I like the setup. I'm not sure if it works, but I'm intrigued.
The entire script's like that. It's like, I don't know if this would have made a good movie, quote unquote, but holy shit, this thing is insane. And it just gets crazier from there. He's like a wanted war criminal for desertion and murder and smuggling. And he gets captured by these invisible forces. The special forces that capture him, they're invisible because, you guessed it, they're wearing Predator armor and gear.
Oh.
And so he's put on trial.
Oh.
Yeah. And he gets sent to a prison planet, much like Alien 3, but this isn't like some melancholy fucking religious metaphor movie. It's a straight-up action movie. And when they get to the prison planet, it's called Arcus 6. Like, all this weird shit's in here. And it's a planet with lots of jungle, because you got to throw it back to the original, obviously. It's described as looking like the surface of Jupiter, and
yeah, something everyone's familiar with.
Yeah, right. It's insane.
I might have to read this.
You should, because it's bonkers.
Although, like, it kind of lost me on the future soldiers thing. Like, I like
the Invisibles.
The Invisibles. Well, like, no, because now, like, we're clearly in a somewhat near future story, you know?
Yeah.
It feels like he wanted, like, he really, like, you know, this movie clearly takes inspiration from Aliens.
Oh, yeah.
And it's very clear that this script was trying to, like, kind of have a Colonial Marines angle. Somewhat.
No, very much so. Yeah. Very, if you keep going on, like, the characters, and, like, they're not really characters, they're stock types and stuff, and it's like, oh, well.
I just got this, like, idea of what if, like, you know, who's fucking Mel Gibson's characters from Braveheart? Oh, God.
I don't know. That's a real person, isn't it?
Yeah, well, like, let's say he didn't really, because the setup of this film is that all these people were meant to die, and then they ended up on this planet. So what if it was, like, fucking him? Like, I'm just saying, like, you could, like, it would be really interesting if you had, like, people from different time periods meeting up. Or I'm even thinking, like, if we do the Shane Black thing, like, on Earth, like, one of these Predator ships crashes, and it's got, like, warriors from different eras, so we have, like, modern cops or soldiers palling around with, like, a Viking or something.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know. I know that the franchise needs to move forward and open up in a big way, but I still kind of want them to do something like that. Just something small scale, $50 million, here you go. You know?
Well, this was like $50 million. This was a cheaper movie.
Yeah, and it did okay, box office wise.
Pretty well considering the budget. But I guess just not well enough to justify doing a direct sequel. I don't know what Hollywood is thinking.
I don't either. This thing, it's primed and ready for it still.
Well, because I also remember going to see this. I saw this in theaters. I was really excited. And it was like me, my dad, and like 4 other people in the theater opening weekend. And it was the same situation that I feel like is happening right now with The Predator. Barely any advertising unless you looked for it. Like, I'd kind of just like, I saw there was a movie called Predators. And I was like, oh yeah. Like, that just sold me. But like, there was no ads for it, really. And you had to like seek it out, and I feel like the same thing is happening with the current Predator movie. And I hope that it's not going to be like this like great movie that is not seen, you know?
Is that just like the Shane Black curse?
I guess, but like, you know, I don't know why no one went to see The Nice Guys. They promoted The Nice Guys pretty heavily, and just I guess people were like, fuck that. even though it was one of the best movies of that year.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Like, I don't know what people are thinking most of the time.
Well, what else? I don't want to spend too much time on that, but like, what else came out in May? That was like Civil War, which obviously made 1 point bajillion dollars, and then Deadpool. I think no, Deadpool came out earlier that year, right?
Yeah, I think Deadpool came out much earlier.
Okay. Oh, X-Men. That X-Men movie came out, the cartoon one.
Yeah, all
Yeah,
right.
it's
I'm
whatever the
glad
fuck.
people went to see that instead of the nice guys.
Yeah, fucking.
I just don't get it. I'm so confused about the movie going public. Because Nice Guys is so good, and I really want a sequel, and that's never going to happen. I think Shane Black has just been trying to get to his legendary Lethal Weapon 2 script, but he's trying to start a new franchise. Do
Yeah.
it. You
And
know
then
that story.
he just never can. Yeah, yeah.
Y-
That script's supposed to be like radically different, right?
well, like Riggs dies
Yeah.
in the script, so
And he's supposed to have like this nemesis or something, right?
yeah, I think so. Which they left like some of the Nemesis elements, but like removed any character.
Yeah. And I
So
love Lethal Weapon too. But it ain't Shane Black good.
the weirdest thing about Lethal Weapon 2 is that Joe Pesci is doing a Quentin Tarantino impression like years before anyone knew who Quentin Tarantino was.
How would Joe Pesci do against a predator?
As Leo gets
Yeah.
whatever you want, Leo gets. I thought he dies like instantly. I don't think Pesci has ever played a character that could like do well in those situations.
They always just get royally fucked up.
He's either like, a psychopath in Goodfellas, but he's like a loose cannon, so you can't really control him. He's a psychopath in Casino, so you can't really control him. He's a fucking lunatic in JFK, which is my favorite Pesci performance. Just watch the scene where he's confessing to everything. So yeah, Joe Pesci is not the guy you want.
Instead, we have a whole bunch of different guys and one woman again because
Yeah.
every Predator movie needs one obligatory woman. But in this one, I think she actually holds her own
No,
against
she's
the rest of
good.
the
She
cast.
was
Yeah.
she's better than the male lead. No offense to.
Oh, okay. We're just gonna get right into it then.
Yeah, I think
I I don't know. I like Adrian Brody just being like, you know what? Yeah, I'll do this weird little cheap action movie. I could be an action star for a
I
movie.
I think I thought that when I saw this movie, and then I kind of learned more about Adrian Brody, and I'm like, oh, he probably took this like way too seriously. I thought, oh, he's cool. He's in a monster movie, and he's like, no, he thinks he's an actual soldier. 'Cause he's so dead serious in this,
Too
and
serious.
yeah, to a point where you're like, I'm uncomfortable around him.
Have you seen like the behind the scenes making of stuff?
You know what? The only thing I've seen is all these promotions they did where they like did like one for every character, and it was just Robert Rodriguez talking about the characters.
Oh, okay.
We should mention that Robert Rodriguez only wrote this film. He didn't direct it. Who directed this?
Nimrod Antal.
Yeah.
He's a B movie dude, but I like him all right.
I like him. I just didn't want to be the guy to say Nimrod in case it was wrong.
Yeah, no,
Uh,
no, it's Nimrod.
yeah. But Robert Rodriguez, Robert Rodriguez was the one that was front and center in all the ads. Like,
Yeah,
I almost thought that, like, did he like secretly direct this or?
I kind of got that feeling too. But then I started checking out the behind the scenes stuff, and like if he did, they hit it like relatively well. Not, I think there's an argument to be had how much like second unit stuff he might have done here and there,
Well,
but
they
he couldn't.
definitely shot at his like own studio.
Yeah, yeah, Troublemakers, which is cool. I mean,
Yeah,
that's like a really filmmaker friendly studio, like the one. So
it is, except you only have like a couple square feet
yeah,
to work.
yeah, but they did shoot on location like Hawaii and stuff. Actually,
Yeah,
just like Hawaii and like Austin, which is
yeah,
odd. That's a
yeah.
weird pairing to me. But I guess
I thought
Austin looks kind of alien. I'd never been there, so
maybe. I don't know.
hmm.
I've never been either. Wasn't the slogan of Austin "Keep Austin Weird"?
I think that's Portland.
No, Portland has it, but I think Austin, Texas also has it. Like there's a
Oh,
debate over like who's the weird city.
oh,
I
okay.
mean, Portland wins. Like Austin's just weird for Texas. Like it's not weird compared to the country. So, yeah. Hey.
Oh.
Um, but man, look at this. This is a great cast for this movie.
We got
Like
Brody. We talked about already. Alice
yeah,
Braga is the sniper Isabel. Topher Grace, hot off Spider-Man 3. Walton Goggins. Oleg Taktarov, who's he's a smaller character actor, but he's one of those guys you've seen somewhere.
he's really good in this. I wish he was in more stuff.
Yeah, me too. Luis Ozawa Changqian, the Yakuza guy.
He hasn't.
That guy's awesome in this.
He's great, but he hasn't done much. I wish I was like again. I wanted to see him in more.
Yeah. And Mahershala Ali.
Oscar winner.
Yeah. Danny Trejo and Laurence Fishburne. Then that's it.
Yeah.
That's all the humans. Like, holy fuck! All these people
Like,
in one movie.
Well, let's just give the setup for people who don't know. Which, if you don't, you should. I would suggest going to see that. Like, watch this. It's fun.
Oh yeah, hands down. Go watch Predators.
But the main setup is that like these characters are some of the deadliest killers from around the world, and they've been dropped on this predator planet. So we have a special forces soldier, an Israeli sniper. Although I don't know what's so badass about shooting women and children, but hey, uh, just had to throw that one in there.
You're not
Uh,
wrong.
a death row inmate, a Russian commando, a Yakuza enforcer, a fucking African death squad soldier, a cartel member, and then a doctor. He's like the team medic, I guess.
Something
And
like that.
yeah, and they're all dropped on this planet, and it's all these great actors. It's like the best setup in the world for a movie with predators. The problem is
I'm glad you took that because I was gonna go off. But go ahead.
that the only thing this movie seems to have is its setup, which is awesome. And then it just kind of doesn't do much with it. It does a little, but not a lot. Yeah. So that's it's fun to watch the first time because you're discovering this world with the characters. But when you rewatch it and you know what's going on, you kind of realize, oh, there's not much going on here.
Yeah,
There's
that's
this heaven and hell purgatory thing kind of happening, but that doesn't really build up to much. Like, 'cause all these characters were meant to die, but they lived and then ended up here. And so some of them think that they did die and that they're either in hell or in purgatory or something, which is a cool idea again, but it's not really taken advantage of. Like, think this could have been a really good like The Thing, 10 Little Indians type movie where all these characters start to distrust each other, and we don't even like reveal the predator for like the predators for a large portion of the film. And the hell is other people and all that bullshit. But again, they kind of just like there's some minor like conflict early on, but then after a while, everyone kind of trusts each other enough to follow where everyone's going, except Adrian Brody, who makes a point of never trusting anyone.
yeah. The serial killer trusts everyone else in the group more than Adrian Brody.
Yeah.
It's a little odd.
Well, no, that makes sense.
Does it? I mean,
Why would a serial killer not trust people? That's how they get you. They befriend you. That's why he's
well, you find out there's two serial killers in the group,
okay. I thought you
actually.
were talking about the other one.
Okay. Well, which one were you talking about? Yeah, I feel like we mixed it up.
Well, I was going to ask before I revealed it.
Okay.
Did you know about the twist before it, or did you figure it out?
I had no idea. I was like, I'm sure something's up with him, but then when it was revealed, I was like, oh, that's kind of neat.
I've heard people like shocked by this twist. I had it spoiled for me before I saw the movie, by like one guy online, like the one other guy that saw the movie opening weekend. But it was but I've had people be like, they all assume he's like the team medic, and then it turns out he's the serial killer, Topher Grace.
Yeah, it makes sense for him to be quote unquote trustworthy, in my opinion.
But I didn't was Walton Goggins a serial killer or just like a fucking crazy person?
Pretty sure he was a serial killer too, right? He kills he
Says he
killed
killed like
38 people.
38 people, which I
Yeah.
think is ridiculous, but
Yeah. Well, like whatever. I mean, it's predators, for God's sakes.
Like 12 would be a lot for a serial killer. 38 is like, that's like Bundy, and Bundy was like fucking decades ago.
Yeah.
I had to bring up serial killers in this episode again.
I mean, go for it. If there's any other episode where you could bring that up like naturally, it's this one with the murderers, like it's literally a murderer's row.
It's more fun when I bring it up unnaturally.
What I liked about it more this time was that all the concepts in this are just totally fucking rad. Everything is like such a great like concept. Like I really want to see concept art from this movie because it must look amazing. And looking behind the scenes and stuff, and how Nimrod was like what he wanted for each scene, it sounds great. And you watch it, it's like, yeah, this is solid. It's a solid looking movie, mostly. When they get to that first like predator, where the predator is like crucified, which is also in the Rodriguez draft, so they took that a little bit. They kept that.
Oh yeah.
That the way he's describing what he wants out of it, he describes it like as a Bosch painting. And when you look at it in the movie, it's like that's just not at all.
No, it's not.
No.
In any way. It's more like a predator stuck to a tree.
Yeah. And they're describing like, oh, we don't want people to tell where like the limbs end and the trees begin. And it's like, well, I could see it right there.
Well, you can tell.
Yeah, you
exactly.
Can tell. Yeah. It's lit kind of weird there. They want it to be like hell right there.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that leads credence to that. Like they wanted to make some heavy, like maybe religious parable almost with action in it. And there's a way to do that, but like it didn't pay off here.
To go back to the Robert Rodriguez promotional videos I watched, like literally every one of them ends with him saying, "For this character, this is hell." Like he ends every video with some comment about how this is hell for each specific character. And so I'm like, all right, and then it's not really relevant.
Yeah.
But you did get to the one thing that I really like. One of the things I really like about this is that there's a whole new element of the predator culture added to this, which is there's apparently infighting among different predators.
What do you think of the look of that? Let's get into that too, but I have things to say about the size of the predators.
Let's just say that there's one classic predator, and he's captured for most of the film, and then he comes back to be one of their buddies at the end. And then we're introduced to 3 super predators who are all kind of distinct if you pause it and pay attention for a minute.
Yeah.
They all do certain things, but they're not that memorable. They're kind of just bigger with bigger teeth. I mean, there's not much to it. But hey, there's multiple predators now. Did more than Predator 2 did.
In terms of building up like the entire species, sure.
Yeah. Sure. Well, I mean, I think honestly, if we go into it, I think the thing I'm responding to most in the first film, in AVPR, and in Predators is that they add something new to the predator culture that wasn't really there. And AVP tried, and it's just so ham-fisted, I'm, like, insulted. I just hate ancient aliens in general. I don't like that shit.
Okay.
I fucking hate Stargate, man. But, sorry, that movie blows. but and again, like they kind of adds this whole like, oh, the predators they helped us build the pyramids, and that's it. Like it doesn't do anything with that setup, and it kind of forgets about it. It's just an excuse to get them there. Whereas Predator, has the initial film. AVPR introduces this predator whose sole job is to just clean up after other predators.
Which again is just fucking awesome. Like
It's so
I
good.
said what I said about that movie, but that's the shit.
Yeah, that's really cool, and it gives a good like tension for what's a good build and release of tension in that film, that some of these other films lack. And here we have this implication that maybe there's like racism on the predator planet, or maybe they just pick on the runt. Like the classic predator was the runt. They never go into it that much, but it's an interesting element to throw in. And again, it's interesting, but they don't do much with it.
Yeah. I think the heads are too big. Something about all the predators minus the
The jaws
first
are
film.
goofy. The
Yeah.
jaws are very goofy.
And it makes them look like bobbleheads almost.
Mm.
And I don't know what it is. No one's really nailed it except for AVPR. Again, I'm saying something
Yeah.
nice about that movie, which is odd. And the first film, maybe parts of the second one. But that's a stretch where the predators, they're supposed to be like the ultimate fast-moving killers. Like they're in, they're out. And
Well, to
all,
say
all the
something
other
about
appearances, they're kind of like stocky, running around, and it looks odd.
well, to say something about the original Predator, they clearly didn't have a great Predator costume. But he's invisible for like 75% of that movie.
Yeah.
And the Predator hand in that is really bad. Uh, I'm not saying like it's fucking like dog shit, but compared to like other stuff in that movie, the hand doesn't look so great in the original Predator. They
Yeah.
didn't seem to really try at all. Predator 2. But again, AVPR, it looks great. And here, I think the classic Predator looks really good, but the three Super Predators don't look great.
Well, it's like the makeup and the prosthetics when they're up close. I think they actually look good, but like it's when they're moving around, I don't feel like creatures this big would be that like fast or ferocious as
Yeah.
the movie wants us to believe they are.
Mhm.
And that's kind of holds it back for me too. And then the distinct like attributes that each predator is supposed to have, like one's like working with their alien animals and the weird hawk drone thing. The other one's like that beast thing with the horns. Then the other one's just like the
Yeah.
King Chief. But they don't do anything beyond that. Like there's this great establishing shot when you see them all get revealed for the first time in full, and then that's like it for like half an hour for them.
Yeah.
So that was weird.
And it's not the most dynamic looking film either. I wonder if it's because I think this was shot on digital cameras, which is because Rodriguez is a big fan of digital filmmaking. And this was a little earlier than some of the more, the better looking digital films we've seen recently.
Yeah, it's
And it kind of just makes everything look like a jungle. Like, yep, that's a jungle. There was literally only one shot in this that like kind of made me go, oh, that was kind of cool. And that was Topher Grace throwing a flare into an invisible predator. And that was about it.
no, kind of. I love the shot when the Yakuza guy is getting ready to face down the predator, and when he unsheaths the sword, and that's framed well. It's lit well enough because mostly the nighttime stuff doesn't like. It's not striking, It's not confining in any way. I'm not sure what they were trying to do at times, honestly, with the environments. Whether they want them to be like this is hell, or like they're in the jungle, because the first Predator was in the jungle and everyone loves the first Predator, which is okay. It worked, but I don't know what they were doing.
I think they were going for an oppressive jungle feeling, but they mostly just their idea of that is to just have a lot of jungle, and it just doesn't totally work. It sounds like I'm shitting on this movie, but I do enjoy this film. It's just when you watch it, you can't help but think, man, this could be like a great movie if they just added a couple more things. You know?
Yeah.
But hey, we don't live in that perfect world, I guess.
And they almost do something like really interesting with the environments where they go from like the familiar Earth-like jungle, which is just Hawaii, which is fine. It looks great. In other stuff, I guess. Um, and then they get launched directly into hell with the ground where the predators all crucified, and then they go into like this almost alien, like a Nostromo type setting, which I really liked, and then just back out into the depths of hell with all the fire and the darkness and shit.
I
But
didn't like this spaceship.
no, I like the spaceship.
It wasn't like awful, but it was kind of like, it's a generic spaceship.
I think I
Like,
like it just because it's different for this franchise.
I
Because
guess,
I think you're right, where it's like, yeah, it's just another spaceship. It's not that inventive. But for this franchise, it's different enough, you know.
yeah, I guess. It's always kind of like, I always just go back to like Aliens. Like, it makes me think of Aliens. And I'm like, well, I've already seen these corridors enough in the Alien franchise.
Okay, I get you.
But we should also talk about crazy ass Laurence Fishburne,
Hell yeah.
who shows up and gives a fucking great like 5 minutes and then dies.
Like again, that's such a cool concept. Like, oh, this dude's like outsmarted and survived predators for who knows how many years
But
now.
it's destroyed his mind,
Yeah.
and he doesn't trust anyone at all. But they don't do much with it, and you kind of are left wondering, like, how did he survive this long?
Yeah, because it's like the one explosion caused the predators to like find his location, and then there's like it. So
Yep.
it's fine, I guess. I mean, I don't know. He has predator gear. Maybe that has some. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I don't think they know, if I'm being honest.
I don't think anyone knows.
Yeah. Um, but then that also leads to something else this movie could have done, where the title Predators could have just referred. I mean, it kind of refers to all the characters, but it really could have gotten into like the most dangerous game type territory, you know, where like I
Who's
really
the
wish.
real monster or predator, whatever the fuck?
Yeah, you know, hokey, sure, but it would have been kind of neat. And I really wish that the movie didn't force the characters to cooperate and become a unit. Like you could have had them trying to form a unit. I really would have liked to have seen it like just fall apart because all these people, for the most part, are just like awful human beings.
Go Lord of the Flies with it.
Yeah, I would have really liked that. Like maybe have a couple of them team up. I think Adrian
Well,
Brody and Alice Braga's characters teaming up at the end felt earned enough, but like the other
yeah,
ones, not so much.
it did feel weird rooting for an Israeli sniper, though. I gotta
Yeah.
be honest. I'm sorry.
Well,
This one, you're definitely gonna get in some shit if we bring up the Israel shit.
no, it's well, uh, you can feel comfortable with
Don't
the
cut it, you
actress,
coward.
with the actress because she's Brazilian.
Yeah, hey,
So
that's how they connect it to the other film somehow.
yeah,
That was a little clumsy.
yeah, I don't understand that. Like they didn't even have to do that, you know?
Well, you gotta be like, hey, I don't know.
No. All the
There's gotta be
Marvel movies
some.
do it. So
Yeah.
I
Well,
guess
at least the Marvels, like, they kind of make sense in that there's a shared Marvel universe. Does the first Guardians make any like references, like big references? Uh,
they reference stuff that's not important until later. So no, I
hey,
guess.
see, I guess that's what happens when you have a very talented writer director behind those films. You know, what my favorite thing about Disney chairman and CEO Bob Iger is
That he's a cock.
that he capitulates to Nazis.
Got to keep that Trump fan base for when he runs for the presidency in however many years.
Yep. Well, no, it's too. He just needs a tax break. I wonder if I'm honestly leave this in.
I
I
probably will,
wonder.
because fuck all those people.
Fuck all those people. Fuck you, you fucking cowards.
Come on. Oh, okay. I was like, you're talking to me. I was like, hold on.
No,
Fucking same side.
it's my anger is directed at everyone. I understand, but uh, fucking. I wonder if someone in the Trump administration said to Disney, "We're going to threaten the 20th Century Fox merger if James Gunn stays on." Like, I'm not saying they got him fired, but I'm saying after he got fired. I wonder if there's because Ike Perlmutter is very close with Ike Perlmutter, the owner of Marvel, is very close to the Trump organization. He's currently the head of the Veterans Affairs, which is not being run very well, as per fucking usual in this fucking country. So just a little conspiracy I want to get started. I don't think that's much of a stretch, though. Considering that the Supreme Court is about to be taken over because Justice Kennedy had made a deal behind closed doors with the Trump administration. But hey, it's just the end of American democracy.
But to your point earlier about how Adrian Brody's too serious, this is a quote from him during production. I want it to be entertaining and part of the ride that people see when they see a movie like that. But that's not really why I'm in it, and that's not really what I brought to it. I brought the same kind of discipline that I would to a film like The Pianist. So, I think you're onto something.
Hear me now. He should have just been his Rastaman character from SNL.
I saw that. Holy shit.
It's so uncomfortable.
It's really bad. That poor man.
Did you see the clip where he's like, respect my neck?
Yeah. He that's when he introduces whoever who played.
He introduced some band.
Mm. Oh man, that was really bad.
Band from SNL. And later star of the inappropriate comedy with Rob Schneider.
I'm unfamiliar.
It's a movie about an app on a tablet going crazy. And it leads to a bunch of different skits. It's like movie 43, but worse somehow.
Jesus, how do you get worse?
It's just check it out.
Yeah, hey, this movie doesn't actually have a lot to talk about.
No, that's the thing. That's why I had to go on my tirades. And I had to bring up Adrian Brody's Rastaman character. There's not a ton to talk about from this film.
Yeah.
It's a very solid movie, and it kills about 90 minutes.
Yeah.
That's
it. That's good.
And there's no real take you could have about this movie that would be shocking.
Yeah. Be like, I didn't like it. I get it.
Yeah,
I liked it.
I get it. It's not like one of us could come on here saying they loved it, and one of us come on here saying they hate it, and then we're at each other's throats the whole time. It's like the McLaughlin group. There's a reference for you millennials.
I will say I'm a little unhappy.
Why do I have the pop culture like tastes of a fucking 40-year-old?
Because you're basically 60.
I don't know what's going on. I have a body of a fucking 60-year-old. I look at the doctor and I'm like, my knee hurts all the time. And like, did you hit it? And I'm like, no. And they're like, well, that could be cancer. And I'm like, oh. Don't worry, it's not.
Okay.
I don't know, actually, but I'm hoping it's not.
Okay, well, I hope it is also not.
If it is, it's far too late. I'm dead.
Oh.
I've been having these problems so long, it's far too late. They caught it too late. That's what I've been living with for a while.
Oh, well.
I like bringing this realness to the podcast.
I was just going to say how this is one of the few movies where Walton Goggins gets, like, good screen time.
Yeah, and he's a rapist.
Yeah, so I have very mixed feelings about that.
Well, I love Walt Goggins in, like, everything he's in, and I hate all his characters, usually.
I think I brought it up before on the show. I'm sure I have, because it's, like, one of my favorite television shows ever. Watch Walton Goggins in Justified. 6 seasons. He's in every episode, I think.
He's in a lot of them.
At least like all but 1 or 2. He's amazing. And
there were some episodes where he disappeared for a while.
Really?
Especially in the beginning, because I don't think he was meant to be a mainstay initially. And then they were like, "This guy's good."
Oh, you know what? That's right. The first season he's a little come and go, but after that he's basically in every episode.
Yeah, he's in a lot.
And he gets to play a character that he starts off as a Nazi and then kind of grows out of it.
It shows that
he's
Nazis
still
can change. Not really.
he's still an antagonist. He's still a criminal, but there's layers to him, and it's
Well, once the network realized he was going to be a main character, they're like, can he be less of a Nazi? It's like what was the brother from Walking Dead who was a racist, and then
oh
once
yeah.
once women really liked him, it was like, can he be not racist anymore? And they just dropped it.
That show's bad.
Walking Dead is so bad.
I don't know what happened. Well, I know what happened. We all know what happened, but
We all
we're
know.
not going to get into that. But
All
no,
right,
Walton Goggins is he's fun to watch, even though he's a scumbag
yeah.
90% of the time.
I love him in The Hateful Eight, and I can't quote any of his dialogue.
Yeah. He's so good in that. And I didn't know that he was going to be like basically the co-lead of that movie.
Who the fuck is Daisy Damagoo?
Yeah, there's really I don't know what else there is to say.
There's not much. I mean, it's a fine movie. That's again, we just keep coming back to it. It's a very fine film.
Yeah.
Open-ended for a sequel that never happened. Although, according to Shane Black, all the Predator films are canon.
That is true. That he has said that. But I can't find the quote right now. If you hear typing, it's me looking it up. I remember hearing something that The Predator takes place between 2 and Predators.
That might make that could be true.
Yeah, which might raise questions.
Which, guess what?
You don't
Who
care.
gives a shit? I just hope The Predator is really good.
God, I hope it really comes together. I'm very optimistic, but you never know.
I just watched The Last Boy Scout, which is like lesser Shane Black, but it was still very good.
That was one of the first scripts that sold for like $1 million too, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, which is insane. And he still had to go back and do like a bunch of rewrites on that.
Yeah, well, that Tony Scott is notorious for constant rewrites on his films.
Yeah.
I know Quentin Tarantino ghost wrote one of his movies because he liked Tony Scott, and I guess Tarantino like at some point got angry and stopped answering his phone.
Well, didn't he straight up write True Romance?
Well, yeah, he did that, but then they called him to do rewrites, like, Punch Up on a certain script. Tarantino's done Punch Up on a lot of weird scripts. He did the Punch Up on the It's Pat movie.
But no, Last Boy Scout is, you're right, lesser Shane Black, and it's still just like such nasty fun, because that's a pretty vile movie.
Oh, that's a pretty disgusting film.
Yeah, but it's also the shit. So
yeah, Shane Black is so odd with his, like, just him repeating the same stories over and over again.
I think him and Michael Mann are like the two filmmakers that can kind of play with their same toy box often without me getting bored of it.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, Michael Bay does the same thing over and over again. And, I do like him too, but I'm also like, well, he's not very good. I mean, there's a difference there.
Yeah.
Like, I get why other people get bored of his nonsense.
I get bored like 10 minutes into a Michael Bay movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's just too much, man.
Yeah.
Some fucking guy on Twitter was like talking about how great Pain and Gain was.
A lot of people do that, actually.
I know. I think there's some people that just, they love being, I don't like being that guy where I'm like, you just like being a contrarian, but if you like that movie, you just like being a contrarian. And I'm like, that's a bad movie. I think, you know what I think it is? Fuck these people. Because it's like, there's these people that watch these movies and they pick up on the very obvious themes of the movie and they think people just couldn't handle those themes. I hate those people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get you.
Like, the people are like, oh, you don't like Man of Steel because Superman is there. And you're like, no, I don't like the movie because it fucking sucks. I don't know. People frustrate me. And at the end of the day, I'm a deeply unpleasant person. So, don't talk to me.
hear you, smell you, and see you. We were chosen.
Chosen for what? This planet is a game preserve. And we're the game.
That's the talk for the Predator. Or Predators. Predators. All these names are so fucking similar. It's annoying now. It didn't bother me when we started this, but now I'm just like frustrated.
The Predator is very infuriating.
Yeah, like I know subtitles can get kind of obnoxious too, but at least I can tell the difference.
Remember The Final Destination?
Oh yeah,
that was bad.
I think I never saw it. I don't think I saw it anyways. Was that the one after the third one with the roller coaster?
I believe so.
Okay, I think I might have seen it, but I don't care. Also,
The Final Destination has a great scene where a guy tries to hang himself but can't because it's not his time, and so he falls off the ceiling. And he goes, "Man, I've been trying to kill myself all day."
Wow.
Yeah. And the first victim in that movie is a racist who's going to burn a cross on a black man's front lawn.
Does the cross fall on him?
No, like it's like the fucking Rube Goldberg death machine. He somehow gets dragged by a chain and lit on fire while the song "Why Can't We Be Friends" is playing.
That sounds like it should be kind of awesome.
I've laughed pretty hard in my life. I couldn't breathe when that happened.
Is that a recommendation?
I don't know. I kind of like all those Final Destination movies.
Jesus.
Final Destination 5 has a great ending. It's probably the only good thing about that movie. Because Final Destination 5 is not good. Fucking David Koechner's in Final Destination 5.
All right, hang on. We got to bring it back to Predator because we gotta leave to go watch The Predator.
No,
yes,
we don't.
Because it's coming out the week of The Predator, so
we could just ramble and then like some music can start playing and just overshadow what we're saying.
All right, all the Predator movies so far that we've seen. Do you have a ranking order? Everyone's got to rank, otherwise you know you're not a real fan if you don't subject yourself to a subjective criticism.
All right. Number 1 is AVPR. No, fucking with you. I don't know. I don't really have... I would probably go Predator. Predators, maybe. I would have... Right now, I have Predators and AVPR on the same level.
What the fuck?
But I haven't rewatched AVPR. I'm not sure how that would hold up. Because, like, the fun in AVPR was, like, discovering it. I don't know if it's good for, like, revisiting. But if it's not good for revisiting, it's probably lesser than Predators. Because Predators kind of has the same problem, but I like more of what's happening in Predators. Then Predator 2, and then AVP, which is a bad movie.
Oh, but not Predator 2. Predator 2 is not bad?
Oh, no, Predator 2 is fine, I guess. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. But people seem to like it, so fuck me.
Matt, any last thoughts on the Predator franchise until Shane Black?
Shane Black better deliver, because right now I'm not sure I actually believe this should be a franchise.
I really hope it comes together. I'm optimistic, given what my eyeballs have been subjected to. Not the trailers; those are bad.
Diego's been like this whole time. He's like, "Oh, I know things," and I'm like, "If you fucking tell me, I'll have to cut your eyes out."
I really want to talk about it, so I really want this to come out already.
Yeah, I just want to fucking see the thing.
Yeah. God, I if it doesn't work, then I think I'll actually agree with you, like for the first time in history, where even though I've actually liked all the official mainline franchise Predator entries, if this doesn't work, I don't know what will at this point. So
I would say, even as much as I dislike AVP, all of these films are at the very least adequate. And I guess that's why the Predator keeps happening. But right now it's like, I don't really need another one. I think I'm not done with it. I'm not like Xenomorph tired.
Okay, I was about to ask, so which one are you more tired of, but...
I'm definitely more tired of the Alien franchise.
I'm
just exhausted because, like, all the fucking shit takes.
You mean my 3 separate posts on Alien Covenant?
Yeah. All 3 of them. Bad.
Yeah.
Bad.
1,000 words each.
Ridley Scott retired, bitch.
Matt, where can people find you?
Some fucking guy on Twitter was like, they wanted to see Neil Blomkamp's Alien movie. I'm like, I can't believe people don't want that. Fuck off. Fuck you. And your mother. I'm at EmperorOTN at Twitter.com and YouTube. Follow me for more funness like this, and kindness, and general positive thoughts about humanity. I'm a nice guy.
You can follow me on Twitter.com at DEWGOWaffles, The Waffle Press. Like, subscribe, follow us on YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes, yada yada. Links down below. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We've been
just the most
professionally unprofessional
person on the planet. It's really bad. Send help.
I can think of a couple worse people.
Oh yeah, I haven't shot children in Israel. Hey-o!
They learn. They adapt. You want to survive? Dig in deep.
Who's your daddy now?
How do we kill them?
However you can.